Carolina Hurricanes hockey is brought to you by Kangaroo Express, your home of the $1.50 dog and drink. By Moe's Southwest Grill. Welcome to Moe's. By the North Carolina Education Lottery. Play Powerball with Power Play. Jackpots start at $40 million. By Raleigh Orthopedic, or where the pros go. Raleigh Orthopedic. And by Golden Corral. Help yourself to happiness. Welcome back to Calgary. Tonight's starting goaltenders brought to you by Golden Corral. Help yourself to happiness. Justin Peters played Monday night in Vancouver. 24 saves and a 2-0 loss. Kari Ramo gets the start tonight for the Calgary Flames. His last game, December the 6th, a 3-2 loss here against the Colorado Avalanche. The referees tonight are Frederick Lacoullier and Dan O'Rourke. Keel Murchison and Mark Wheeler on the lines. Jordan Stahl, Elias Lindholm, and Nathan Gerbe crank it up for Carolina. With Andre Sekera, Justin Falk on defense. Sit back and enjoy this one from the Saddle Dome. Comes all the way in on Kari Ramo. Flames played here on Tuesday night. It was a 2-1 loss to Boston Bruins. Jerome McGinley's homecoming to Calgary as it's cleared in by Andre Sekera. Along the boards, they grind it back to the point. Justin Falk off the mark. Top of your screen. Sekera converging that time with David Jones as Carolina applies pressure. Nathan Gerbe with a shot off the defense, and now Calgary's on it.
Well, Lindholm was a key part of the tying goal in Edmonton along the wall. They're a good reload and a good tenacious stick play at the end of his shift.
Ron Hainsey through the center zone. Now Tuomo Ruutu has some room. Gets away for Mike Camilleri. Eric Stahl with a shot wide of Ramo. Loose this way for Ryan Murphy. Murphy keeps it deep. Let go by Ruutu by Eric Stahl. Played by Ron Hainsey. He's involved along the far side with Lee Stempniak, and it comes back out to center ice. Matt Stajan plays it along the boards. He'll get it deep. Getting to it now from the corner is Ryan Murphy. Moving down the wall on him, Mike Camilleri. Matt Stajan, tough angle off the side of the goal. Played by Jeff Skinner. TJ Brody at the point. Losing control to Eric Stahl, and here he comes. They'll move it wide of Chris Russell, and swallowing that one is Kari Ramo, and he'll hand it off for the defense.
And because the line changed by all three guys, Ramo actually takes it out of the breadbasket and continues the play. At 99% of the time, that's a whistle.
Curtis Glencross in their lineup tonight, number 20 in red. Been out with an injury, out to center ice. They get to it here, and it's played by Patrick Dwyer. Dwyer from well out off the pads of Ramo, played by Chris Butler. Moves along the boards now. The Flames try to clear. Calgary 5-7-3 here at home. And Jerry Hudler now through the middle for Glencross. On the far side, they cross again. Shane O'Brien looking for Hudler, who leads Calgary in terms of scoring. And it's punched out to center ice by Manny Malhotra.
Well, it was a good job with Pat Dwyer. Physical contact in the offensive zone, then a key stick play back defensively.
Now the Flames attempt to get it deep. That's Roma losing control. Played by Justin Falk at the point. Giordano well off the mark, looking for a tip. Smead now will go deep. Played in back of the goal. Now Carolina gets to it once again out to center ice. Alex Semin after Riley Nash was hit hard by Ryan McGrattan. Ramo will shove it to the corner. Played along the boards. McGrattan now by Sekera and back out to center ice.
Word is that McGrattan, over 500 penalty minutes, has really been setting a physical tone. There's another good hit from Calgary, their best two contact plays of the game.
Michael Backlund broken up by Elias Lindholm. Backlund gets to it. DJ Gagliardi's been out with an injury. He'll thread it inside, and Jones is shut down. Good save by Justin Peters. Lindholm tries to get by Backlund. David Jones had it, lost it, and it comes back out to center ice.
He's just so committed to fronting the puck. In this day and age, I think goaltenders sometimes are not square on those sharp angle shots. He was there.
Chris Russell having a nice season for the Flames. Off for Michael Backlund going wide. Justin Peters got a stick to it. Backlund in back of the goal now with help from Gagliardi. The Calgary native in control. Up top it goes for Russell. He converts the forehand now to the open corner. Backlund is there, peppered by Eric Stahl. Backlund stays with it. Michael Backlund playing his 200th NHL game tonight. It slid back out to center ice.
He was a first-round pick out of Sweden several years ago.
Chris Russell goes wide in the slot. Good stick by Tuomo Ruutu before the puck got to Lee Stempniak.
A couple of good, sharp defensive plays from forwards. Dwyer earlier, there, Ruutu.
They spring Drayson Bowman. He's missed the last three with a lower body injury, and Kari Ramo hangs on to that. Let's take a look at tonight's Storm Tracker.
Well, it starts with a better start. The Hurricanes are talking about it. They're trying to figure out ways to do it. I think here tonight against an unfamiliar opponent, the key is worry about your game. Don't worry about the Flames. And work before skill. Brian Burke, who is now the interim general manager, you'll talk more about that, talked about how hard-working the Flames have been. He thinks the hardest working team in the league. And always upstream. Keep north, south, or the puck moving north with a purpose in the middle of the ice.
Take a look at the Rex Express Care injuries and scratches at the top of your screen as Riley Nash's shot is handled by Kari Ramo. Rex Healthcare, chosen for excellence. Alex Semin with a shot off the stick of Ramo. Played by Shane O'Brien, sealed off by Riley Nash. Alex Semin in his first game back after missing 12 with a concussion. Loose along the boards. Nash gets to it. Off the stick and back out to center ice. Yuri Hudler can't get to it. Jay Harrison back out to the center zone, and Yuri Talusti is in control. Here's Alex Semin. His shot high over the top of Kari Ramo. They hunt it down in back of the goal, attempt a centering pass, and now Chris Butler will play it for Calgary, but not out. Semin seals the wall. He'll keep it deep.
Excellent first shift for Alex Semin. Everything was done fast, and everything was done with thinking shot first.
Joe Colburn now out to center. Off the stick of Brian McGrattan. Heading to it is Justin Falk this way for Manny Malhotra. Good pass for Pat Dwyer. At the line, good poke check by Calgary's Mark Giordano. Now it's carried along here and shoved deep by Paul Byron. Byron gets after it on the forecheck. He goes hard in back of Justin Peters. Andre Sekera to the outside. Carolina escapes hard.
Both teams rolling 4 lines. That's Calgary's fourth. That's already their second shift to this hockey game, and it's still as young as you are, John.
That's not that young. Now it's played out to center ice. Gagliardi. Net by Ron Hainsey. Hainsey now coming off another solid game Tuesday night in Edmonton. A 5-4 overtime loss by the Hurricanes after being shut out in Vancouver on Monday night 2-0.
I like some of the little things Lindholm is doing along the boards, especially near both blue lines.
David Jones, the outside here of Nathan Gerby, just outside that Carolina line. He kicks back for the defense, and they go D to D. Ryan Murphy threads it across now for Ron Hainsey. Just about 6 minutes gone in this first period. John Tripp and Chantel with you as always tonight from the Saddle Dome, and Saturday night will be at Jobbing.com Arena in Phoenix. The Canes and Coyotes will wrap up this 4-game swing out west. Staged and across for Stempniak to the outside. Handed down by Peters. Loose puck at the side of the goal. Matt Stajan, Mike Camilleri. Camilleri now with a little button hook on Sekera, holding onto it. Camilleri in back of the goal, given a shove. He stays with it from his knees, but a good job by Andre Sekera, and away go Carolina.
He had a good stick the whole shift, and that's another good save from Peter. Stempniak, I think, has underrated skill. 3 former Dartmouth players on this Calgary team. He's one.
Andre Sekera through the center zone this way for Eric. He'll pull up off a stick, blocked by Schmid, loose in back of the goal. They center one out in front, and now Schmid can't make it happen. Good back check that time by Semin on him. But Calgary, as we see, back out to center ice. Glenn Cross for Stempniak, and they're offside. 13-13 left to go in period 1. Shots are 4 for Carolina, 3 for Calgary, and we're scoreless.
Back at the Saddle Dome, we are scoreless, and where I'm standing is 10 rows up from the ice. But if you were here in June, you would be underwater because of that crazy flooding they had back this summer. It was a lot of work. It took 650,000 man-hours in order to make this arena back to the way it was supposed to be. They had locker room damage. They had all sorts of cable damage from the in-video production. So lots of replacements had to be done. People from all over North America, Toronto, the U.S., and Mexico did this 6-month project in only 60 days. But there was some memorabilia that was not replaceable. So unfortunate, but they did do a good job of getting things back on pace. John and Tripp?
Heroic job. Do you know, Chantel, they pumped out 30 million gallons of water from this building, and the water was so high, and it was a combination of snow coming off the nearby mountains and some other natural effects, but there were fish swimming around this building.
Yeah, it was something, and they did a great job to be ready for training camp. It comes back now to the point. Carolina will keep it deep. 7 minutes gone in period 1. They grind a cycle. Patrick Dwyer. Dwyer in control. Gleason at the point. Point to point. Jay Harrison. His shot blocked by Shane O'Brien. O'Brien plays it along the boards and back out to neutral ice. Tim Gleason headmans the puck for Pat Dwyer. A little chip here, and Carolina can get a line change. Chris Butler from his own zone. Out to center for Michael Backlund. He'll go wide. An easy chance for Justin Peters. And we get a face-off. When the Canes win, all Caniacs win. Get 50% off your entire menu price online order at participating Papa John's the day after a Canes win. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
Kirk Muller told me today that when he played with John McClain, who always shot the puck, they called him Cliff. Because when you gave McClain the puck, it was like falling off a cliff. You were never getting it back. That's what I've liked about Skinner of late and Semin early in this game.
So we can call him Cliff from this point forward.
You bet.
Okay. Well, Mac is too easy of a nickname. Johnny, of course. There's too many Johns sometimes, so not too many Cliffs around.
What do you prefer, John or Johnny?
Either one. As long as you're my friend. Now, Lindholm taken care of that time by Giordano. He'll paw it out to center. The Flames get it deep. Justin Peters, an angled pass here for Jordan Staal. He'll crisscross, lay it off for Gerby. Nathan Gerby goes to work on Chris Russell to the goal mouth. Back it goes. Ron Hainsey. Hainsey now delivers a pass by Gerby. Pinching down the walls, Ryan Murphy. Murphy lost his edge, gets back up, plays it deep. Inside, it's Tuomo Ruutu. He's taken down. Murphy a steal for Carolina. His shot blocked on the way through by Backlund. He'll have control in the slot here, and Calgary will survive.
Close to closing his hand on the puck there. Lindholm has gone to the dressing room after that hit. Tough break.
Now Ruutu for Hainsey, and Murphy has plenty of time to wheel ahead for Jeff Skinner. NHL's first star last week cuts. His shot turned out by Kari Ramo. Tuomo Ruutu now. Eric Staal from the corner. On and off his stick. Brody not out. It's Murphy. His shot tipped on the way through. Turning with it now. Ruutu. Fought off by Ramo. What a save. Eric Staal goes wide. Delayed whistle. A penalty against Calgary. Stahl's chance is blocked, and Carolina goes to the power play.
Boy, that's an excellent shift. Excellent shift. It starts with Skinner being like Cliff McClain and just thinking shot. Prior to that, let's hope that Elias Lindholm will somehow find a way to get back. The hits from the side from Giordano. He's a physical player, always tough to play against. It's a good hit. And here's Skinner. Thinking like that puck is going off a cliff with just a shot, and then puck retrieval from Ruutu and Staal, and drawing the high stick as Jeff Skinner drove the net.
So Matt Stajan for high sticking.
They're calling hook, I guess. I thought it was a high stick.
Now it's played along and deep. Jordan Staal inside. Broken up by Chris Butler. Jordan for Gerby. Alex Semin on this power play unit. Here's Ryan Murphy. Behind the back for Semin. Semin from the wall now. Looks it over. Throws on the brakes. Murphy up top. This way for Hainsey, a one-timer. Blocked by Giordano. And it's Boma. The rookie will clear it all the way down past Justin Peters.
Well, you see Giordano. He's a two-way player. Tom Rowe coached him during the lockout in Lowell before Carolina, of course, went on to win the Stanley Cup. And Eric Staal, who's on the ice, was one of his teammates. Now they're both captains.
Carolina number 27 with their power play, number 14 on the road. Calgary tied for 17th on the kill. Very good here, number 4. They have allowed only 6 power play goals and 42 chances by the opponents here at the Saddle Dome. It goes off the stick of Backlund, and it comes all the way back out.
Goes without saying, you have to watch the Flames shorthanded looking for offense.
Lee Stempniak, a nice move, shorthanded. They have 6 shorthanded goals tied with Carolina. Sekera holding on to it away from TJ Gagliardi. Andre Sekera for Tuomo Ruutu. With Eric Staal at his side. Off a couple of skates. Hunted down here and in control. Ladislav Schmid, deep in his own zone, will kill more time and finally fire it all the way back in the Carolina zone.
I think the Canes have had their best start in 3 or 4 games. You want to make sure a power play, even if it doesn't score, doesn't lose momentum.
Murphy over the line, spring pass to Lusty, swallowed by Ramo, and he hangs on. If the Canes put the biscuit in the basket during the Duke Energy power play tonight, Caniacs who say the winning phrase receive a free Bo-Berry biscuit from participating Bojangles restaurants tomorrow morning. Bojangles, it's bow time.
Since the home game against Vancouver, Kirk Muller adjusted and making battling for loose pucks more of a priority with the man advantage and a net front presence. Since then, coming into tonight, 3 for 15, that's 20%.
17 seconds on the power play. Murphy's shot wide, and it's played here by Chris Butler along the boards and all the way back. Ahead of that goal line, Justin Peters. He'll swing it for Ron Hainsey. Coming back to it is Riley Nash. From the center zone and out, Carolina with 2 shots on that power play. Even turns on the ice. 8:55 left in period 1. Giordano out to center. You're looking at Matt Stajan. He'll pull up. Stajan holding onto it, curling away from Nash. Stajan goes to work. This way, a vacated point. Played now in the center zone by Giordano.
Giordano played with Eric Staal because Lowe was split between Calgary and Carolina.
Joe Colburn with a shot picked off by Justin Peters, and we get a stoppage. Ron Hainsey is tonight's Moe's Southwest Grill Hey What Do You Say queso player. If he scores tonight, all Caniacs receive a free side of Moe's famous queso and hot fresh chips tomorrow at any Triangle locale. 8:35 left in period 1. We'll step aside and come back right after this. A 12-game absence for Alex Semin, and good to see him back tonight.
This is very unique. That's actually an addition to the stick that only Semin uses for more leverage. And I love the fact that he is thinking just get pucks to the net and no hesitation in doing so in his first game back. Love this look here. I went back and watched film when Alex has scored 40 goals and had a lot of success finishing pucks. And he shoots from the inside of the 2 dots. And if he rolls his hands, it's a really quick move, and he gets pucks to the net quickly. And you saw both of those things on that shot just over the blue line. And he can score from out there when he does those things.
Carolina has had a power play tonight, 2 shots with it. 8 shots in the game thus far, 5 taken by Calgary. Jay Harrison, he'll snap it ahead. Hard around it goes for Pat Dwyer. Drayson Bowman inside. Trap chance, Dwyer off his stick. And the Flames now transition out to center. Glenn Cross will get it deep, cross corner. Gleason, checked by Hudler. Now it's played ahead by Colburn, gained by Carolina's Harrison, but not out. Shane O'Brien. By Glenn Cross. Harrison again. Malhotra out to dead center. Calgary now goes D to D. Joe Colburn. Broken up by Manny Malhotra. Carolina will roll a change again as they throw it all the way back in plain sight.
The shifts are going to have to be short. Don't forget, this is 3 games in 4 nights, and the Hurricanes, the forwards especially short shifts because Lindholm is not on that bench.
The pace will be a little bit slower with Calgary as opposed to what we saw in Edmonton on Tuesday night. But they do play a strong positional game. They've just had a hard time in third period. Stempniak away from Sekera. Camilleri, give and go. Lee Stempniak certainly. Stajan his shot. Blocked by Eric Staal. Up top, Giordano. His bid. Caught by Peters. No further play.
Boy, good stick plays from the Hurricanes forwards in their own end of this period. Dwyer, Ruutu, and now the captain, Eric Staal. This is good to see. Stop it right here, guys. There's Staal. Watch him. Great play. That's a forward doing his job. And that prevents a good scoring chance for the Flames. And you know the Flames are going to be motivated with a change in management this morning announced.
Jay Feaster, John Weisbrod, the assistant general manager, were let go today by Calgary. The president of hockey operations, Brian Burke, made that announcement at 11 Mountain Time. Back to the point, Russell holding on to it. So it really is a shocker, and it is something on a game day that's quite interesting.
Well, Brian Burke said that the reason he did it now, right before Christmas, is he needed about 30 to 40 days to evaluate the Flames. And, you know, there are a couple candidates as Buffalo's looking for a new general manager that may overlap.
Alex Semin shot easily handled by Ramo. In the slot, Semin on this line now with Jordan Staal, Nathan Gerbe. Around the board, Semin gets to it. Alex Semin goes to work. Trading places with Nathan Gerbe. He'll trap the zone. Gerbe now. Threads it inside for Semin, top of your screen. They wind it along. Nash back to the point. Now Harrison with a shot off a body. Fought off by Chris Russell. And it comes all the way back in the game zone.
Harrison on a nightly basis doing a nice job getting pucks through quickly. And in that management search, I have no idea if he's going to be part of it, but a lot of speculation already. Former Flame Joe Nieuwendyk would be in the mix. I have no idea if there's any credence or validity to that.
Now Paul Byron off the boards and deep. It'll be an interesting next few days. 2 teams looking for general managers, Buffalo and Calgary. McGrath, Gary Tuloski for Carolina. Throws on the brakes ahead of Paul Byron. They start again. Harrison on the tape and off the tape of Nash. Calgary, as we see, in control.
Well, that's just in the Carolina end, but that's the the simple north-south, keeping that current going upstream that the Canes need to receive that puck on the tape.
Hudler over the line. Yuri Hudler, former Red Wing, holding onto it. The outside of Harrison. All the way across. Glenn Cross with a shot blocked by Ruutu. Back of the goal, it's Joe Colburn. Ruutu given a shoulder by Hudler, and now Colburn again. For Boston draft choice, Toronto Maple Leaf, Giordano with a shot blocked by Tuomo Ruutu. Tim Gleason feathers along for Jay Harrison, and they get it out.
That's an excellent, two good defensive plays from Ruutu. He's been really good in his own end here in the first, really good.
Good play by Mark Giordano on Jeff Skinner. Curtis Glencross is tied up by Pat Dwyer. A loose puck as we see. Lee Stepniak moves it back for the defense. Out to center, it's Stajan. Matt Stajan by Justin Falk. Peters again out to play it in the reverse. He gave it away to Stajan. And defending him, Justin Falk. Now Sekera. Inside track on Stepniak. Grayson Bowman looks for a man. He has two, actually, and Falk now back in his own zone.
Peters is confident as ever, but don't use that confidence in the wrong way and overplay the puck. He's a good puck handler, but don't ever get caught. I mean, one of the Hurricanes goalies, Khudobin, right now is still coming back from injury because of it.
Camilleri, Stempniak throws on the brakes ahead of Semin. Lee Stempniak inside for Stajan, back for Stempniak. Great save by Peters, and it's carried out here by Alex Semin. Semin through the center zone, 1-on-2, make it 2-on-2. His shot blocked by Butler. Ryan Murphy up on the play. He'll pass it all the way across for Semin. They delay in the high slot. Murphy had it poked off his stick. Now it's carried out by David Jones. Former Colorado Avalanche. He goes wide. Right on the front. Peters said no. Backlund has the rebound. Carolina scrambles back. Schmid now will keep it deep. Inside for Backlund. Defended by Hainsey. He's lost his stick. He gets it back from his knees. Tries to make a play. Now Schmid again. Ron Hainsey pokes it along for Ryan Murphy.
Murphy's best start in quite some time.
A steal. Jones. Giordano. Good stick by Hainsey. Giordano inside for DJ Cagliardi. Cagliardi spins off a hit. Backlund from the corner. Pressured by Hainsey. Schmid's up on the play to the outside of Semin. Good pressure by Calgary. Schmid holding onto it. Looking for Brian McGrattan. Moves it back of the goal. Murphy is there. Met by Cagliardi. Carolina, tough time getting it out. They can't hear. Backlund had it. He lost it. And finally they do.
Boy, the Flames do work. We knew they would. I mean, that's what everybody's talking about. They only gave up 9 shots to the Boston Bruins in the first 2 periods in Jerome McGinley's return a couple of nights ago.
2-1 game won by Boston here on Tuesday night. Great show of appreciation by the fans at the end of that game. Talusti with the center zone. Now Dwyer. Dwyer's into the outside. Swept along by Kari Ramo. Played by McGrattan, a steal. Carolina goes to work. Gleason's shot is offside. So we get a stoppage. 2:47 left to go in period 1. We're scoreless in Calgary. One of the greatest Hurricanes we've ever had. Marty Gelinas, currently an assistant coach here in Calgary.
Well, the goal that he scored in overtime of Game 6 to put Carolina in the Stanley Cup Finals in 2002. And I was talking to Marty about it, and he needed his skate sharpened before that overtime. And the guy with the Midas touch was that man, Skip Cunningham. Corey Stillman also needed his skate sharpened before overtime in Game 6 in 2006 against Montreal, and Skip sharpened his skates, and he scored. So when the Canes are in the playoffs next, I'd make sure I need my skate sharpened by Skip, even if those edges feel great, because it's safe to say he's got the Midas touch.
Camilleri had an easy chance there. Little chuckle from Skip Cunningham. Working hard with Bobby Gorman, George Alves on this road swing.
And how about Dave Paul at home? Helps
Dave.
Another part of the equipment.
Mr. Dave.
Isn't he something?
Yeah.
I mean, they really are stellar, and they all, it's not just one guy, they all have black belts in skate sharpening.
Marty Gelinas, class on and off the ice. Told me this morning that Raleigh is still probably, for he and his wife, the best place that they played. He played in quite a few spots in great cities in the National Hockey League. As we'll swing it back in the Carolina zone.
As Shane, his wife, and his dad and Barbara from Shawinigan. And he's not smiling right now, but you know, people talk about Jeff Skinner's smile. And I'm not an expert on smiles, but nobody competed harder but had a better smile every day than Martin Gelinas.
His son Matthew's playing Major Junior, Tri-Cities, Western Hockey League, first season there. As an 18-year-old, it's chipped out of play by the combination of Ruutu and Giordano. And we see Bob Hartley for the first time tonight.
fellow French-Canadian, and won a Stanley Cup as the coach of the Colorado Avalanche. And right now he says that, you know, it's a rebuild, as they've openly stated here in Calgary. He loves the work ethic. They're just doing things that are part of the learning curve, such as against Boston, where they got a little bit nervous trying to sit back against a team that doesn't change the way they play in that third period in the Bruins.
He's used to rebuilding. He did get the Atlanta Thrashers to the playoffs for the only time in their existence. A 4-game sweep by the New York Rangers. He and his coaches were told this morning by Brian Burke that they do have the entire season. And then the new GM comes in, and there'll be another evaluation.
Well, speaking of Atlanta, Bob Hartley said he used to put Kari Lehtinen on the phone with the goalie he won the cup with in Colorado, of course, Patrick Roy. Never knew that. What a great sounding board for the now Dallas #1 goaltender Lehtinen. And Hartley says the reason that Roy was the best was he wasn't the most athletic guy, but his mechanics, and of course, we always hear about his compete level.
Compete, yeah. 1:24 left in period 1. John Tripp and Chantel with you as always tonight from Saddle Dome Saturday night. We're in Phoenix to wrap it up here out west. Gagliardi's pass intended for Backlund doesn't work. They go to the corner. Jay Harrison is on him. Here's Backlund. His shot off a body, blocked by Gleason. Backlund now wins the battle. Gagliardi holding, shooting one. Chipped wide that time by David Jones. Carolina will roll it through center, send it all the way back. This is icing.
The Flames cycle game in the last 4 or 5 minutes has been very, very sound.
Well, tough day today. That's what Brian Burke said. This guy is a very good friend of Brian's. Of course, we knew of him as he was a very fine general manager in Tampa before being let go and getting the job here.
Well, Brian said he loves size. He doesn't hide from that. You know, I think it's different strokes for different folks when it comes to general managers. Feaster won a cup in Tampa, not necessarily with size being the biggest catalyst, but Burke said one of his biggest objectives is to really locate Alberta beef, to use his phraseology, and that he thinks size wins if you complement it with some elite skill.
Well, his record is good, too, when you look at it. Vancouver, Anaheim, the Stanley Cup in 07, what happened in Toronto. I mean, they are now a contending team after all these years. Gleason from the corner, hard pressed by Stempniak. 20 seconds left to go in period 1. Tuomo Ruutu for Carolina. Eric Stahl, Tim Gleason. Deep in his own territory, Harrison out to center. Ruutu, a drop pass. Skinner threads it in. Giordano is back on it. 7 seconds left in period 1. A steal. It's Andrej Sekera, defended by Stempniak. Skinner shot through a maze, blocked in front. That'll do it. Ryan Murphy will be Chantel McCabe's guest when we kick off the PNC Bank first intermission. Goalless hockey here at the Saddle Dome in Calgary. Hurricanes and Flames on Fox Sports Carolina. Certainly looks the part. We're back in the heart of the West. Scoreless after 1 period of play. First period numbers brought to us by Buffalo Brothers, the greatest tenders on planet Earth. We take a look at Carolina. 9/4 dominance in the face-off circle. And as we get set for the second period, will their scoring dominance continue in the middle frame?
Well, it's been Carolina's most dominant period of late. I haven't seen a mustache of that caliber in this town since Lanny McDonald was here. That guy, that cowboy, looks like he could be an honorary member of the Ewing family in Dallas.
Jordan Stahl along with Nathan Gerby, Alex Simmons. Carolina playing without Elias Lindholm, out for further evaluation. He was hit by Mark Giordano along the benches in period 1. Nathan Gerby out of the corner. Back to the point, Sekera. He'll dust it off. His shot wide of Kari Ramo. Curtis Glencross had it, lost it. Jordan picked off at the Calgary defense by Giordano and back out.
Talked to Sekera on the bench about when to shoot and when to make a play. There he decides to make a play.
Joe Colburn lays it back for Ladislav Schmid. Schmid moving up. He'll stop. Center one. Glencross off a body off Justin Falk. It pinballs around and forked out of there by Justin Peters. That's staging for Calgary. Glencross turned out with ease by Justin Peters. And we get a stoppage.
Yes, Sekera just seems to know when the right play, and what did he say to us on the bench in the interview, the beginning of the show? When the right play is to fire it immediately, and when the right play is to make a quick little play. And here he knows the guy's coming, trying to recover to get in the lane, so he has time to get him to overextend, allow the net front presence to materialize, and then fire it at the net.
Carolina looking for their first win this week out west. Being shut out in Vancouver Monday, losing in overtime. Tuesday night in Edmonton. Mike Camilleri broken up by Ron Hainsey. Carolina starting from their own zone in the person of Ryan Murphy. Out to center. At the line going wide. Dwyer partially blocked by Chris Butler. Goes along the wall. Murphy with a chop chance for Manny Malhotra. Out of that scrum, Dwyer. Good pass for Murphy. This way it's Hainsey. His shot tipped wide by Dwyer. Bowman off the side of the goal. Getting to it is Stepniak. And away go Calgary.
I think Ryan Murphy, who had a good offensive first period, he played like he plays in games when the Hurricanes are trailing. He was in the middle of the ice, and I think he could have shot that puck or at least made a play to the net.
Chris Butler, the St. Louis native, off the boards. A steal. Drayson Bowman dangling, broken up. Lee Stempniak at Stajan. Keane center, cross corner dump. Getting to it is Justin Polk. Away from Mike Camilleri. Top of your screen, Tuomo Ruutu. David Jones is on him. Andre Sekera for the Hurricanes in control. Headmanning the puck for Eric, and cleanly they're out. Tuomo Ruutu. It's the Calgary line, wedged by Michael Backlund. Chris Russell for Backlund off a stick. Ruutu shot stopped by Ramo, and we'll get a face-off.
Ruutu continues, I think, to be as good of a player as Carolina has up front. This summer, Justin Peters skated more than he ever has in the offseason in Mississauga, suburb of Toronto, and he would skate virtually every day without pucks, just so he could work on his movement. No pucks. And it was all about recovery, moving side to side, learning to play in this day and age when you really don't get up in your movement. You actually don't get to your feet like you used to, and you could see it there. Boy, he looks good, but that was a change in his off-season plan, and it's paid off.
It's something that can be a misconception that goaltenders have to be excellent skaters. As Simmons' shot deflects wide, and they get to it. Stepniak tries to clear. Alex Simmons, his first game back from injury. Yuri Tlusky wheels ahead. Giordano is on it. Paired with Schmid. Former Edmonton Oiler along the boards. Pinching is Harrison for Carolina. Riley Nash from the center zone and right back.
Well, that's a real commitment because that means he has to rent the ice virtually every day a week, and that's not cheap, and not to have pucks.
Here come the Flames. Camilleri with a shot. Cut off by Peters. Up down by Jay Harrison. Stepniak stolen by Nash. Loose at the point. Giordano a force. Carolina on the attack. You're looking at Yuri Tlusky. He'll cut. Lay it across. Good back check by Mike Camilleri. Stajan. Up on the rush is Giordano. Mark Giordano to the outside of Justin Polkindy.
Camilleri, who's not having a good plus-minus season at -10. That was a good back check after Seven created the turnover at the Carolina blue line.
Paul Byron for Lance Boma. Boma out in front. Looking for Brian McGrattan. He was tied up in a back check by Yuri Tlusky. Chris Russell with a shot blocked in front by Harrison. See it pop back. Russell in control. It's by Folk. This way, Tlusky on the board pays the price. He's floored by Paul Byron. Brian McGrattan, the puck is on edge. Peters got a piece of it. Chris Russell shovels ahead. Negated by Folk and back out.
Tlusky he wants to get to the bench. I don't think he's 100%.
McGrattan. Getting a piece of it. Peters against Colburn on his man. And along the boards, it's Pat Dwyer. Out of the four-man scrum. Joe Colburn. This way for T.J. Brodie, wide of the target. Now Riley Nash around the boards. With Pat Dwyer defended in the center ice area as Calgary gets back.
Boy, Dwyer needed to get that deep for Tlusky. Tlusky now gets off the ice, and major character marks for Yuri because he was hurt early on that collision and stayed out.
Colburn peels away from Hainsey, who plays it well, but Colburn got to it. Jordan Stahl. Center ice area, Nathan Gerby. Pitching it by Shane O'Brien. He gets after it. O'Brien got the free handout. Loosened back of the goal now, Brodie. T.J. Brodie from Calgary. Snapped along by Murphy, gained by Colburn. And the youngster brings it along for the Calgary Flames. At the line now, he'll shift gears and go deep. Colburn. Top of your screen, Yuri Hutler back to the point. Schmid goes wide, his shot. Wide of Peters. Shane O'Brien down the boards. Gerby for Carolina. They might have a chance here out to center ice. Jordan Stahl. His shot caught by Ramo. No further play.
That was all about composure by Gerby and his own end to create that chance. And Jiri Tlusty, Hurricanes are already down a fort. Good to see that he's powering through. This is one tough customer. You know, it looked there. It's a good hit. It looks like Byron even made sure to make the hit through the chest. Another good positional save from Peters. And Jiri, because of the long second period change, he didn't want to be selfish and get off, even though that's what he wanted to do, stayed on, and even tried to block a Brody shot.
This line is Malhotra, Tuomo Ruutu, and Drayson Bowman now for Kirk Muller. Andre Sekera, Justin Falk on the defense, played here by Giordano. Missed 18 games with an ankle injury. Now Chris Butler on the wall for Jones. Ruutu a steal. Chris Butler for the Flames gets it back. Hard around it goes, looking for TJ Gagliardi, but it skipped out of play, and we get a stoppage.
See, this is where it's just tough to tell on these replays, because Tlusty now he might have injured his nose or it's his lip, which tells you, I mean, the replay makes it look like that was through the chest, but obviously it wasn't if he's cutting the lip. So it's such a difficult thing to be able to distinguish. If, you know, the chest is, to me, that's a good hit. Maybe a follow through up high. It's almost, Byron made sure to stay as low and not leave his feet.
I think that's what it is, Trip. I think the finish was high. Now Brody. And that would be okay because the hit at first looked to be okay. Now it goes deep. Chris Russell, Stajan, Stempniak at his side. Jeff Skinner for Carolina on the boards. He'll glove it ahead. That's legal in the defensive zone, and now it goes back from the corner. Sekera tries to move it. Eric Stahl in control. From the neutral zone, Justin Falk goes wide. His shot misses the target. Loose along the boards. Eric Stahl off a body off Lee Stempniak. He gets it back. Stahl centers one off the goaltender. Knocked up by Stempniak, not out. Justin Falk turning his Skinner, loading the gun. Good stick check by Stempniak, and away they go. Mike Camilleri. TJ Brody will float it along the boards. And back at Justin Peters to the corner. Hudler away from Nash, who makes a good defensive play. Patrick Dwyer sails it all the way back in the Calgary zone.
Unselfish play there on the strong side. Justin Falk getting off. Long change, second period, toughest for defense when the puck was deep in the offensive end. Gleason comes on. And maybe one, I think, probable Olympian and Falk allows a former Olympian and Gleason to get on the ice.
13:35 left in the second period. Scoreless.
We're still scoreless in Calgary as the road trip continues. For video coach Chris Huffine, he reviews dozens of hours of video ahead of every single game. The trickiest part of the job is when you face a Western Conference team for the first time, like tonight in Calgary, when the players aren't too familiar with the opposing team's style. So Huffine prepares players by finding tendencies of teams, like what they do on the power play, plus a breakdown of individual players, like how a centerman will take a face-off and whether he's a left or a right shot. So a very detailed account from the video coach who works so hard. This guy hardly ever sleeps. John and Tripp?
He's incredibly invaluable. And for instance, there are pretty much 3 neutral zone systems in this league. I won't go into detail. And probably 2 or 3 different ways that teams play the defensive zone. Carolina will be shorthanded for the first time in this one, so they'll have to lean on that power play meeting that Chantel's talking about.
Patrick Dwyer will get the penalty for hooking Chris Butler. As the Flames now have 6 skaters out. Colburn wheels it back. O'Brien a give off at the line. Hudler going wide. Hard around this way for Joe Colburn. He'll control the puck along the boards. Away from Tlusty. Inside again for Butler. Out in front. Fought off by Peters. We get the stoppage. And now the Calgary power play.
And I will tell you exactly what Chris would have told the guys. Let's take a look. A penalty in the offensive zone. Dwyer has not, for as good of an unheralded player as he is, didn't get a puck deep a few minutes ago, and there's a stick that rides up. That's unlike him. And he's a key penalty killer, of course. Now, Huffine told me that, in his view, Calgary has 3 skilled players. Camilleri, Hudler, and he thinks Stempniak has underrated skill. So make sure you know where those players are at all times, and 2 of them are on the ice right now at least.
Calgary 24th with their power play, 14th at home. Carolina 20th on the kill, 21st on the road.
Patrick Dwyer is looked for hooking instead of 13.
Hooking penalty on Pat Dwyer.
Instead of 13.
Elias Lindholm will not return. We have word from Mike Sunheim, who's traveling with the team. We thank him for that. So Carolina down a forward. Glenn Cross from the corner. They'll wheel it up top. Giordano. Now Chris Russell. Russell has an offensive flair. Camilleri from the wall. Indirect pass. Russell. His shot. Tip. Knocked down. Fought for in the crease. Hoodler has it to the outside. Gary Hoodler now. He'll dust it off a few times. Mike Camilleri. The half boards. Hoodler back to the point. Russell walks. The puck is on edge. His shot tipped wide. Off of Glencroft. Giordano down the boards for Calgary. He'll force the issue. Justin Falk moves it. Drayson Bowman moves his feet. Gets to it. And it's played in the center zone by Glencroft.
Former Columbus Blue Jacket and St. Louis Blue. Russell has had a rebirth here. You could see it there playing the point.
Now Hoodler back to the point. Russell point to point. Giordano finds the handle. Camilleri now goes inside Hoodler all the way across. Camilleri. One pass too many. Good read by Andre Sekera. Good force at the point by Bowman. Getting help from Jordan. Andre Sekera. With Jordan Stahl. Good job here by the Hurricanes as they kill time.
Immense shift from Andre Sekera. Now, as the weak side defenseman, he can finally get off. He saved a goal with his skate on a redirection. Then the stick play as Camilleri tried to cross-seam it. And then was able to utilize Jordan Stahl with poise. He had to be tired.
From neutral ice and in, now it's David Jones. Jones had it broken up. Carolina salts away more time. Just 10 seconds left on the kill. 10:55 left in the second period. Scoreless hockey here at the Saddle Dome. Through center ice, Ron Hainsey. He'll lift it ahead. No shots for Calgary with that power play. Brody. DJ Brody. Chris Butler. Michael Backlund. Now center ice area, Brody again. Closing the gap on him is Riley Nash. And the Flames get started again. Stretch pass for Cagliardi. He'll go to an open corner. Stempniak is there. Good job by Harrison. And right back out.
Boy, Jay has really simplified his game. And when you start to grow in confidence, you make quicker decisions. And he's doing that.
Cagliardi goes down easily with help from Ryan Murphy. Alex Semin paid a price. He was finished off by Lance Boma. Comes back out to center ice. Giordano. He'll glide it hard around off of support. Trouble brewing here. Stajan has it. And the puck is not located by TJ Cagliardi. Jeff Skinner's away. Crisscrossing. His shot read by Schmid. He got it back. Off the goalpost. And now Hainsey can't find it. Skinner did. He'll take a big hit from Cagliardi, but he got it deep.
That was the maturation of Skinner. He protected himself in the middle of the ice, didn't fear it, and then established the shot with his finishing ability and just got the bad break off the post. A lot of good things there.
Chris Russell spent time with Columbus and St. Louis. He'll go deep. Tim Gleason looks around. He lost his head. Along the boards now. The Flames look to pounce on that. They try to keep it deep. Gleason recovers, and out they come. Here's Patrick Dwyer. He'll split the D. Chris Butler with his head on a swivel. Loose along the boards. Now Holtra on O'Brien. Hoodler over the line. Little backhand dish. He got it back. Shane O'Brien, the veteran, throws on the brakes. Now Holtra has lost his stick. He's trapped behind Justin Peters. Sekera attempts to win a battle. Andre Sekera for Carolina. Back out.
Boy, Sekera is not afraid to use the middle of the ice in his own end when it's the right time.
Now O'Brien away from Jordan Stahl. Shane O'Brien through center. David Jones over the line. Pulls up. Good stick check both ways. Falk down low. Stahl from behind. In the slot. They have it. Back to the point. Russell. Here it comes. Good stick. Alex Semin back out to center ice.
Boy, it's the biggest reason this game is still 0-0. Semin has a good stick there. There have been a bunch.
Jordan Stahl plays the body on David Jones. Jones goes to work in the forecheck, and so does Cagliardi. Sekera for Nathan Kirby. As the puck rallies around, Backlund holding onto it. Michael Backlund in control. He'll turn. Up top for TJ Brody. Backlund again all the way across. Russell with a chop chance. It trickles in on Peters. No further play. 8:04 left to go in the second period. Chantel McCabe with Kane's assistant John McLean when we come back.
Scoreless, I'm with Coach John McClain. You're down one forward, so what importance will it be to keep the shift short?
Yeah, I mean, that's what we got to do. The guys are playing well. We got to play smart hockey, keep getting the puck in. I'd like to see a few more shots on net, but we keep working the way we are. I think we're going to get the results we want by the end. Thank you.
I'll tell you what, I'm impressed with the way the Calgary Flames are moving the puck.
Yeah.
Involving the defense offensively. It's just like I said, it's been a bunch of really good sticks at the right times that have prevented some grade A chances.
Shots are even at 13. Russell with a shot handled by Justin Peters. Eric Stahl now off the glass. Out to center ice. Eric Stahl has points in 12 of his last 14 games. Out to center, Stempniak. Tied up by the captain. Brody. By Stempniak, Hainsey now. Eric Stahl is trapped offside. Hurricanes tag up. Play will continue. 7:35 left in the second period. John Trippett can't tell what he was always. Stempniak dancing. Laying it off for Russell. His shot breaks off Peters wide. Camilleri off the side of the goal. Mike Camilleri. Defended by Ron Hainsey, getting help from Nash, but not out. Chris Russell along the boards by Nash. Moved along by Lee Stempniak. At Stajan in back of the goal now. Camilleri in a battle with Murphy. Calgary continues to apply pressure. Along the boards now, brought out by Skinner. Carolina survives.
This is the key stretch of the game because other than the Skinner post on a transition play, the Flames have the ice tilted. Can the Canes regain the momentum?
They have the puck a great deal. Hudler's shot negated, a good block by Tim Gleason. This is Manny Malhotra. Gleason is the trailer. Malhotra with a shot off of Shane O'Brien. It goes out of play. Coors Light, cold hard facts. We'll take a look at our first installment tonight here at the Saddle Dome. And it involves Jeff Skinner since December 3. Take a look at his goal production with Corey Perry tied at 6.
One of the ways Skinner could have a couple in this one tonight. He just hit the bar, not afraid to get to the middle of the ice and protecting himself. This is a key draw here for Malhotra.
Harrison now will play it back in center ice. Paired on defense with Tim Gleason. Malhotra, Salusti, Pat Dwyer, that's the line. It's gloved by Kari Rommel. And again, a face-off in Calgary ice.
So, we all know how cold the temperature is here in Alberta.
Yes.
So the Canes land in Edmonton, which is even colder than here.
Yeah.
And at the back of the bus, I'm told that Eric said to Alex Semin, he said, well, this is what the temperature's like in Mother Russia, isn't it? Sasha, as they call him. And Alex Semin quickly pulled out his iPhone and showed that Krasnoyarsk was actually +2 degrees, so warmer than here in defense of his Mother Russia, Siberia.
At game time tonight, 3 above Fahrenheit here in Calgary. And that's warm, folks. In Edmonton, it was just a little bit cooler. It's all the way back. Icing is called here against the Flames.
Semin, actually, one of his last couple of shifts had a key play in the middle of the ice on his point man. Calgary defense getting involved here, so I've liked his debut back.
Face-off won by Michael Backlund, and now in control, TJ Brody. Out to center. Justin Falk off the boards. Brody back in his own zone. Center ice area, good job by Backlund. Now Jones lays it ahead, but Carolina has it covered well. Jordan Stahl. Deflected pass, finding Justin Falk out to center. Eric Stahl off the boards and deep. Now it's played here by TJ Cagliardi. Falk off the stick of Eric Stahl and back. This road swing will stop in Phoenix on Saturday night. As Backlund crosses the line, his shot caught by Justin Peters. 5:39 left to go in the second period. Justin Peters doing his thing in Calgary. We're scoreless here in Calgary. Catch a full hour of Carolina Hurricanes hockey talk with Mike Maniscalco during the Coors Light Canes Corner at Backyard Bistro. The next one is December the 18th at 7 p.m. Special guest, the Hall of Famer, Ron Francis.
Really impressed watching Francis in his managerial role, assisting Jim Rutherford on a daily basis. I mean, nothing rattles Ron. If it ever does, he never shows it. We're told that Jim Rutherford will meet the team in Phoenix. Of course, Jim has been at the Board of Governors meetings in Northern California this week.
We'll be on the air with Hurricanes Live at 7:30 Eastern from the desert on Saturday night. Shot taken, whistled wide by Carolina's Alex Semin. And back out to center, Lance Boma. Ahead for McGrattan, his shot, Peters got it. And now Malhotra, Alexander Semin locating the puck. Will take a hit, he's double teamed along the far side, but he got it deep.
That was a tough read from Drayson Bowman back in the lineup. He was the high forward, and the defenseman was already pinching. That's what created the outnumbered chance, and it was well played by Gleason.
Tuomo Ruutu had 4 hits in Edmonton on Tuesday night. Made a steal, gets the puck out to center for Skinner. Jeff Skinner holding on it. Schmid is on him, hitting a hole is Eric. He'll pull up. Eric Stahl now along the boards is tied up. He's in a battle here with Mike Camilleri. Stagin across for Lee Stempniak. And away they go. Stempniak down. Outside the Carolina line, checked offside. It appeared with Stagin. Stempniak with a shot. Peters a save, and he had the rebound. Off net, Stagin. Now Stempniak through the slot and all the way back.
Boy, I'll tell you what, those are 2 dodge bullets for the Hurricanes. Tough decisions on both at the offensive blue line. If the Hurricanes can get out of this period 0-0 or better, with their third periods and Calgary's tough thirds, big advantage, so make good decisions.
Calgary has 10 shots in this period, Carolina with 3. Ryan Murphy in control, heading the puck deep. Patrick Dwyer forechecking for the Hurricanes. Out of the corner, he's pinned. He was hit hard as he was wedged there by Colburn. And now Glenn Cross. Curtis Glenn Cross will throw it across here. Giordano springing Hudler. Yuri Hudler to the outside of Kirby, out in front. Good stick check by Justin Falk on Joe Colburn. Jordan Stahl through the middle. Dwyer over the line, approaching Brody. Good pass here for Falk. Off the heavy metal. Stick side of Ramo.
Boy, Falk jumps in right at the right time. What a look to find him. And prior to that, Kirby had covered up beautifully, so the Hurricanes were not pressed in transition.
DJ Brody, stretch pass, Jones is in, defended by Sekera. David Jones along the boards, Andrej Sekera. Gagliardi snaps it deep, Peters out to play it. Jones from the corner for Calgary. Gagliardi walks, good stick, Talusti and Falk. Now Sekera takes a hit, lays it back for Riley Nash. Top of your screen, Yuri Talusti. And away go the Hurricanes out to center. Drayson Bowman to the outside of Brody off a skate and wide. Getting control is Riley Nash. Along the boards, he attempts to win a battle. Russell out to the center zone. Carolina gets control.
Calgary's had a good period, obviously, but the Canes still have hit 3 posts. Skinner hit 1. I think that Falk shot hit 2.
It did. Now Eric Stahl away from Backlund. Moved deep by Drayson Bowman. Kari Ramo. Gagliardi took care of his man, took care of the puck. Justin Peters awaiting that. He'll play it. He turned it over. McGrattan knocked down by Harrison. They center one. Cleaston and his man, Paul Byron. They go to the corner. Boma. McGrattan. He scores! Ryan McGrattan breaks the ice late in the second period. Calgary with a 1-0 lead.
Boy, this all stems, you can assist the trapezoid and the rule that came in back in 2005, 2006 in this one, because this puck slides in. Peters should just come out and play it. I don't know why he's waiting as long as he is. McGrattan comes in, creates the pressure. I mean, I said earlier in the game, this is a guy with over 500 penalty minutes. He's a former OHL player. He's always been a character guy, and the forecheck goes to work, and this is a guy that would rarely score from this spot, and a puck just has eyes to get by or get between the legs of Justin. And Calgary gets that late goal they've been looking for.
It's his first goal of the season. And his last goal was April 19th of the shortened season. So first goal in 30 games for the tough guy, Ryan McGrattan. And now a discussion ongoing downstairs.
Well, they're going back to make sure Falk's shot didn't go in because there hasn't been a whistle since then. I think that's what they're doing. They're just making sure that that puck, in fact, hit both posts.
Exactly
it's just a tough break right there. And the Canes have been challenged again with their resilience in the province of Alberta, because, I mean, I really felt if they could get to the dressing room 0-0, huge edge. As good as Justin has been, he just got caught in no man's land, not knowing what to do with that puck coming up the ice. And Calgary took advantage with some tenacious cycling, and McGrattan, the rare goal scorer.
Ron Hainsey paired on defense with Ryan Murphy. Brian McGrattan breaks the ice here at the Saddledome. 1-0 Calgary. Murphy walks in, shut down by Kari Ramo. Giordano on the boards and back out. Hainsey in control. Away from Matt Stajan. This is Jordan Staal coming back. Lance Boma and Paul Byron. The assist on the goal by Brian McGrattan, his first at 17:49. Ryan Murphy. Shadow from Mike Camilleri. Hainsey for Carolina. Stajan bumped off the play by Jordan Staal. Stempniak for Calgary. Camilleri off his stick. Schmid now back at his own line. Takes control.
Boy, if there was a number, a statistic of how teams do when their fourth line scores, it gives you a big edge. So that's a challenge here for Carolina in the last shift of a half of this period in the third.
Grayson Bowman now. 65 seconds left in the period. Alex Semin will just get it deep. Ramo misplays in the trapezoid, but bailing him out is TJ Brody. Headmanning the puck along the wing. Glenn Cross. Picked off by Justin Falk. Now Bowman. Saucer feed for Pat Dwyer. He'll throw on the brakes. Dwyer to the outside of Chris Russell. Turning with it is Drayson Bowman, negated by Michael Backlund. And out he goes. Center ice. Falk ahead now for Dwyer. 35 seconds left in the period. Scaled in by Sekera. It goes in the screen on a deflection, so we'll get a face-off here. 32.2 seconds left in period 2.
There is McGrattan, an Ottawa Senator, a Nashville Predator. Comes over here from a draft pick from Nashville. And Bob Hartley's been raving about him. He says he makes everybody feel tougher. He knows what he's supposed to do. He's an enforcer. He's finished hits tonight. You never thought he'd score, but he's part of a fourth line that now has given the Flames the apparent lead after 40 unless Carolina scored.
Out shooting Carolina 11-3 in the second period. And getting the reward, the goal by Brian McGrattan. Now Jordan Staal with 20 seconds left in the period. Jordan Staal, Tuomo Ruutu, canceled by Brody. Calgary escapes harm, and here they come. TJ Gagliardi hit hard by Tim Gleason. Puck lay loose at center as we see Ruutu now floats it in on Ramo with 5 seconds left in the period. Calgary starts again. Chris Russell in the center zone, and that'll do it. Brian McGrattan has the game's only goal, and it came late in the second period. Scored at 17:49. Shots 20 for Calgary. 13 taken by Carolina here at the Saddledome in Calgary, Alberta. It's the Calgary Flames 1. Carolina Hurricanes no score. You watch Canes hockey on Fox Sports Carolina. Brian McGrattan, who's been an outstanding teammate throughout his NHL career, has the game's only goals. We welcome you back to the Saddledome here in Calgary. John Forslund, Trip Tracy, Chantel McCabe at ice level. Along with our fine crew, and this road trip will end Saturday night in Phoenix. Canes and Coyotes here on Fox Sports Carolina, starting with Hurricanes live at 7:30 Eastern. Jordan Staal, Alexander Semin, Nathan Gerbe for Carolina. Justin Falk and Andrej Sekera are back. If you're just joining us, Elias Lindholm was injured in period 1 and will not be back. Mark Giordano along the boards by Mike Camilleri. Falk now in his own zone, D to D for Sekera. Through the center ice area, chipped on a play by Lee Stempniak, and we get a stoppage. Little disturbance in front of the Calgary bench. Vladislav Schmid and Nathan Gerbe. Nothing will come from that. Coors Light. Cold Hard Facts, our second installment tonight. These two teams lead the National Hockey League in terms of shorthanded goals.
Well, I can't speak as to why Calgary's had such success. I can speak as to why the Hurricanes have, is because everything is north-south moving forward and simplified when they're shorthanded. And it's created a ton of offense. They've made penalty killing a 200-foot game that starts behind the attacking net, but there's just no wasted lateral motion when they're down a man.
And for Carolina, all 6 of those have been scored on the road. Justin Peters gave it away to David Jones, who traps the zone. Along the boards, Tuomo Ruutu tied up by Michael Backlund. TJ Gagliardi for Calgary in the corner with Ryan Murphy. They jam along the boards in this 1-0 game. Backlund holding onto it. Given a jolt by Murphy. Gagliardi, Jones. Shot blocked by Ron Hainsey, and it careens all the way back.
The other thing, shorthanded, they've made really, really good line changes. They haven't left whoever's coming on the ice in bad spots. That was one little subtlety. All three forwards really changed in the attacking zone at the same time.
Icing is called here. Let's go to Chantel McCabe for tonight's Geico quote.
Thanks, guys. Well, I talked to Jordan Staal about why we're seeing so much confidence in order to give the team 6 shorthanded goals on the season, of course, all coming on the road. For tonight's Geico quote, Jordan says, I think it's because we have the green light to use the opportunities. I think when you're feeling good about killing penalties, you can take the next step and try to get a goal.
Chantel, he'd be the guy to talk to because he is as good of a two-way penalty killer as there's been in the last many years in the NHL. And boy, if Jordan just plays the same north-south game at even strength, he will be dominant.
Here come the Canes. Here, Toulouse just wide. Harrison fending on that one. It comes all the way back. The Hurricanes will circle back in their own zone. Patrick Dwyer sidestepping a hit thrown at him. And a big one it was by Glencross. My apologies, it was Riley Nash sidestepping that hit from Glencross and tried to wedge it deep. Now it's brought along here by Nathan Gerby. Gerby over the line, a weak shot fended off by Ramo. Second chance to the goal crease. Sekera goes wide. Out in front. Semin had his stick tied up. Alex Semin gets to it. His pass detected. Brian McGrattan, as the game's only goal, will pitch it ahead. McGrattan gets after it. Down low, canceled by Justin Falk. Jordan Staal spins off a hit. Out to the center zone, Semin. He gave it away to Schmid as they circle back.
Semin had a chance earlier in this shift. He has a longer average shift length than any Carolina forward through two.
That's Boma hit hard by Jordan Staal. Giordano out of the corner. Back of the goal, Matt Stajan. Stood up by Justin Falk. Jordan Staal readies for a hit but lost the puck. Lee Stempniak, who walks out in front. Blocked by Murphy. Stempniak stays with it. He goes down in the heat. Hit by Falk. Turned in by Camilleri. Broken up by Ryan Murphy, who read the play, and out they go. Murphy, 3-on-2 with Semin. And Skinner. Semin's shot goes high. Skinner gets to it. Blocked by Schmid, who moves it this way for Mike Camilleri.
49 seconds, Alex Semin's average shift in 2 periods. He's done a lot of good things, but that's too long at any time, let alone your first game back from injury.
Rutu coming all the way back. Now you're looking at Ryan Murphy. Through center ice intended for Eric Staal. Calgary plays it at the D. It deflects out to center. Cagliardi can't get to it. Good play by Hainsey. Backlund had it, lost it. Now Eric Staal. On the wall for Trayson Bowman. Off the boards and deep. Carolina rolls a change. TJ Brody has time and space from his own zone. To the center ice area. Moved by David Jones all the way back. Tim Gleason is on it. Underneath it is Manny Malhotra. Now Jay Harrison from neutral ice. Off the boards behind the Calgary defense. Chris Butler hit by Dwyer. Supporting Malhotra. Off the stick of Butler. Gained by Hudler. And here they come. Yuri Hudler through the middle. At the line. Deals away. They cross through the middle. Intended for Hudler. Broken up. Now it's threaded all the way back out to center ice by Patrick Dwyer. He attempts to get it deep, but it's broken up by Chris Butler. Calgary now will start again. Butler. There is Glencross. Gave it away to Jordan Staal. Over the line in the zone. His shot deflects wide off Butler. Kirby's chance handled by Kari Ramo. Now Glencross away for Colburn and back out. Losing his edge going down with Lee Stempniak. Maybe a chance for Carolina. Jordan for Nathan Kirby. Out in front between the wickets of Schmid. Up top it's Sekera. His feet picked off by Mark Giordano as Calgary attempts to get it out.
Bad line change from Calgary. Mass change, and Jordan Staal short-handed, he just powers to the net there. I don't know why he tried to get too fancy because it was all recovery for 5 guys changing for the Flames all at once.
Calgary has had a hard time with leads, especially in the third period. And their Achilles heel now is Camilleri. Inside for David Jones on a cycle. Forced by Semin. Alex Semin in control. Off a couple of sticks gained by Justin Falk. Lead pass for Eric doesn't work. Back of the goal. Eric Staal gets to it. DJ Cagliardi defending for Calgary. Banking one out to center ice.
It's little things, but the Hurricanes have played their most up-tempo game of the year in the last few weeks because that puck always keeps moving forward. And a couple of times here in this period, they just haven't done that, and it can be all the difference in the world.
The Carolina Ale House is the spot for Cool Bars. The next one will be in Briar Creek on January 7th. The Canes will be in Buffalo. Log on to CarolinaHurricanes.com for more details.
Bowman tried to make a play at the offensive blue line when Ruutu was ready to get in on the forecheck. Jordan there during that change. Just keep it moving forward with a purpose.
Calgary out to center ice. Michael Backlund. This way for Gagliardi. His shot caught off by Peters. Carolina has the rebound. It's Riley Nash. Through the center ice area, Yuri Tlusty. He'll scale it ahead. Chris Russell is back. Flushed out by Pat Dwyer. Calgary from their own zone can't get out. Turning is Dwyer. His shot off a stick. Goes in the screen. We get a stoppage.
Let me show you what I'm talking about. That was an excellent reload from Riley Nash coming back from the middle that leads to a chance. But this is where I'm, one move east-west just isn't the right play. Stop it right here, guys. Bowman, just get the thing deep because Ruutu, the power forward, wants to get in. Now it's offsides, and Tuomo can't do it, so he has to go out for a change. That's keep it going upstream. One move sometimes can be too many.
3 shots in the period so far. Carolina has 2 of those. Jordan Staal. Joe Coburn. Semin. The line here, a high stick by Hudler, and a penalty upcoming against Calgary. Semin sold it. Now it goes across. Harrison holding onto it. Off sticks. Carolina to the power play.
Referee immediately, I think that's Dan O'Rourke, goes over to him to make sure that he is not injured. I can't tell if it's going to be 2 or... It's 2 minutes. Let's watch. Oh, Semin, there he is. Yeah, flips him right there, and boy, oh boy. This is where you need a power play. Kirk Muller feels it's been coming since the Washington game that began this whole sojourn, to use one of your words. Well, this is where you need it to convert.
Second power play for Carolina. Skinner now holding onto it. Here's Sekera. His shot off a body off Giordano. Gained by Ruutu. Along the boards, Jeff Skinner for the Hurricanes. Makes a move. Pulls up. Throws it back to Andrej Sekera. Skinner again holding. Shooting one. Stopped by Ramo. In the high slot. Sekera. His shot stopped by Ramo. Calgary gets to it. And here they come shorthanded. Stajan. Hunted down. On the boards, protecting the puck, Matt Stajan. Top of your screen, Lee Stempniak in a foot race with Ruutu. They win a battle. Stajan, Giordano going wide. His shot is wide. Top of your screen, Eric Staal. He'll start his engine. Eric Staal, the Calgary line, pulls up. Lays it off the end wall. Giordano is on it. Hard around by Murphy and out.
Well, you can appreciate the confidence that Calgary has shorthanded because we've seen it on a nightly basis from the Hurricanes. Even Giordano, a defenseman, jumping in like Hainsey has of late.
They gain entry. It's Jordan. He's defended. Semin shot. Ramo got a piece of it with a stick. Hainsey a keep away from Brody. It's bouncing around and alertly smothered by Kari Ramo.
Well, a couple of pretty good looks from the beginning of this power play. Hurricanes get puck possession off the faceoff. Skinner establish the shot. That's a good butterfly. Eric Staal would want his screen to be squarely in front, not to the side of the goaltender. And that puck's on edge. Another good technical save. I mean, I'm looking at the power play coming into tonight, 13%. Penalty killing, 81%. Combination, 94%. You want to be above 100. I'll give an extra 5% because of the shorthanded goals. But still, those are numbers that have to come up for the Canes to really grab a hold on playoff position.
They win a face-off. Calgary does shorthanded. Lance Boma hustling in the Carolina zone. Peters will play it in the trapezoid. Leave it for Justin Falk. Under 30 seconds left in this power play. Falk out to center ice. Will gain the zone. Nathan Gerbe. He'll dangle. To the outside, it's Falk. Off the stick of Stajan. Andrej Sekera will settle it down for Gerbe by him. Played by Schmid off the glass. Chipped at the point. Lance Boma is on it. Boma at the line with Brody. Stajan. He walks in. Peters scissors the pad out. What a move by Lance Boma. Now Nathan Gerbe. He'll move up. That shot goes wide. Carolina, 3 shots in the power play. They are 0 for 2 out to center ice. Yuri Hudler over the line for Curtis Glencross. Colburn shot blocked by Yuri Tlusty. Played along the boards. Pat Dwyer in his own zone. Through center. Corralled here by Chris Butler. He'll send it all the way in on Peters.
But the best chance might have been for Boma, former Vancouver Giant, there right at the tail end, down a man.
Glenn Cross, good play, third man high. Jones looking for Colburn out in front. Now Dwyer spins away from Glenn Cross. Jay Harrison will bounce into an open corner. Giordano is on it, a quick up on a line change. Chip and chase time for Calgary. Glenn Cross got it deep. Hainsey, Ryan Murphy. Ruutu never saw it. He gets help from Eric Stahl. Sealed off by Jones and Backlund. And now it's carried by Carolina's Ryan Murphy. The 20-year-old off the boards. Broken up by Brody Murphy. Hit hard. And now Calgary transitions. Gagliardi goes wide. The pass off of Murphy. Eric Stahl tries to clear, and now Skinner will. Jeff Skinner hits the Calgary line. He'll pull up. Blocker save for Ramos. Eric Stahl off the stick. It goes wide. Loose around the boards. You see it come all the way back.
After, I think, not shooting quick enough in Vancouver, being the #1 player of the week in the NHL, Skinner has regathered that. And I mean, he is getting pucks to the net quickly here tonight.
From center ice at Stajan. In the zone, Stempniak off of Fulton. Stempniak for Stajan. Sekera looks around. Andre Sekera in his own zone off the boards. Nathan Gerby is awaiting. He'll lay it across for Jordan, who's moving. Jordan Stahl to the outside, circling the wagons. Good defensive play by Schmid, and out they come. Matt Stajan. Back pressure from Jordan Stahl. Stajan. Keep to the head. Jordan is there. Bumped by Stajan. Fished out by Harrison. And the Hurricanes start again.
Boy, I mean, it's sacrilegious to make a trade from Edmonton to Calgary, as Schmid was moved recently from the two rivals. Boy, he made a good one there.
9:53 left to go in the third period. Lance Boma the chance, and Peters had none of it.
Back in the third, I'm with Shannon Nash, Riley's mom. You've been coming along these last 3 games for this road trip, so I'm sure that's fun. But as a mom, when you come and see your son play in person, what is that like for you?
Oh, it's just really exciting to see him be able to achieve the dreams, you know, things that he's worked so hard for. And it's just really exciting as parents to be able to watch him in the stands. Yeah.
As a mom, what are you most proud of when you know that your son has made it to the NHL?
Oh, gosh. Probably just that he's really, really worked hard to achieve a goal, and he's, you know, been able to achieve that, or, you know, getting to that point where he's happy. And, yeah, it's just been really fun watching him work so hard to achieve that.
Great. Thanks, Shannon.
Thank you.
John and Chip, back to you.
Grayson Pullman had a great scoring chance. Stopped by Kari Ramo.
I believe when Chantel was talking to the Belmores off camera, Brett scored his first NHL goal in Detroit not so long ago, so I was hoping for karma that the Canes would get another one during that sequence, and Bowman nearly did. A fellow Westerner like Nash. Two different routes. Nash collegiately and Drayson out of the Western Hockey.
Riley's had family the entire road trip. Now, if he has somebody in Phoenix, we'll be on to something. There was family in Vancouver. Edmonton, of course, was his first organization. He had people there. And now tonight, Russell with a shot. Stempniak holding onto it. Caught by Justin Peters. Face off of the Carolina zone. Let's take a look back at tonight's Storm Tracker.
Well, a strong start. Carolina, I thought, started the first 10 minutes actually very, very well. They have run into as hard of a working team as you're going to find. And so far, their skill, which is on the Hurricane side when you look at the rosters, has not really been the difference. And at times, I think they have gotten a little bit too east-westy in the neutral zone.
From the point, Brody stopped by Peters, and he controls the rebound. 9:06 left in regulation time.
Malhotra is okay. Actually, when Chantel was talking to Shannon Nash, Malhotra caught a stick up high. That's what he's talking to the linesman about right now on a face-off on the other side in the Carolina zone.
Stajan wins the draw. Stempniak in control. Off of Ryan Murphy. Top of your screen, Eric. Rolling it by Brody. Tuomo Ruutu has control. Here they come. Ruutu at the outside of TJ Brody. He sets up Skinner. His shot. He scores! Jeff Skinner has the magic again. Beating Kari Ramo 5-hole. And the Canes have tied it.
Was this north-south? You will see the value of paying the price but playing straight-line hockey, and then the goal scorer takes over. Eric Stahl, north-south. Puck support. North-south from Tuomo Ruutu. Net drive from Eric Stahl. Net drive from Ryan Murphy jumping in. And Jeff Skinner, really the third passing option, as a left shot on the right side. Quick release. He's a hot hand and just gets it to the net before Ramo can get across and scribble those pads together. You're not going to see a better example of why you have to keep that puck moving up the stream with a current with a purpose.
The last 6 games for Jeff Skinner, 6 goals, 3 assists.
Carolina goal. He is 11 years.
Play inside the line by Eric Stahl, started it. Now Backlund moving up, shot taken, caught by Peters. No further play. 8:29 left to go in regulation time, and the $1 million smile of Jeff Skinner. And the Hurricanes have tied it in Calgary. Skinner again has found a way, and the Canes have tied it.
Well, coming into tonight, it'll only go up. His shooting percentage of 14.3 is by far the highest of any Hurricane that has over 20 shots this season. Skinner had 70 coming into tonight, so that tells you what a scorer he is. And boy, Eric Stahl and Ruutu really teamed up to find the hottest scorer in the league right now to finish that one.
Stahl now has points in 13 of his last 15 as that one deflects wide off Glenn Cross. Hudler back to the point. Shot taken from Schmid is blocked. Loose impact of the goal, now to the corner. Hunted down by Calgary's Joe Colburn. He stood up by Manny Malhotra. They scrum along the boards. Dwyer is there too. Hudler tried to move it, so does Glenn Cross. Referees say, boys, please move the puck. And they do. Along the boards, Dwyer wedged by Giordano. Good play by Harrison on Hudler and back out to center ice. Yuri Talusti attempts to get it deep and succeeds.
By the way, the Hurricanes turned the puck over right after Skinner's goal, right in front of their bench. And Justin Peters makes a heck of a save. Falk a key back check on that timely sequence as well.
And again, this has been Calgary's problem. Hanging on the leads, especially in the third period. Maybe the Hurricanes can capitalize more. Murphy's in flying. To the outside, defended by Chris Russell. To the point, Eric. He'll drag it. Now Skinner's dancing. Jeff Skinner's backhand stopped and covered by Kari Ramo. And a disturbance in back of the goal. Tuomo Ruutu. As the sticks get up high, he's involved with Chris Russell.
Ruutu, I think, has had a very fine night. There's the future and the present. 2 Kitchener Rangers first-round picks for Carolina. Murphy looked like a defenseman who played one of the best first games in this building as a Hurricane, David Tanabe, that I've ever seen. Remember that one, John? He was incredible. Yeah. And that was a holiday game, I believe. It might be Canadian Thanksgiving. And Tanabe was just unstoppable, as was Murphy here. So one Kitchener Ranger and then another one. He can shoot the forehand. That is a pretty darn dangerous backhand there as Ramo just locates it. Tanabe, I don't remember a game, first game in the NHL for a player in our time working there. Are they calling coincidentals?
They are. It is Tuomo Ruutu and Chris Russell for roughing back of Kari Ramo. 7:18 left in this third period. Faceoff will stay put in the Calgary zone. Jeff Skinner at 11:10 of this period has tied it. As the Hurricanes again on this road trip in a position where they're digging down and fighting back. Schmid sends it across for Giordano. Mark Giordano off the stick. In the zone, Michael Backlund, first round pick. Giordano with a shot wide of Peters. Nathan Gerby deep in his own zone. Yuri Hudler is on him. Now it's carried out by Carolina's Andrej Sekera. He'll move it back. Jordan Stahl broken up. Here come the Flames. Backlund. Across it goes. Sekera. A gem defensively on Glenn Cross.
That's again the neutral zone. Keep it running up the current short-handed. Jordan would never not be strong on that puck. And it caused a key turnover.
It's all the way back as we see Butler is hard pressed. Brody. Not out. Ron Hainsey. This way for Ryan Murphy. Here it comes. Caught by Ramo. Sunday, second-ranked Syracuse Orange head to Madison Square Garden to take on St. John's Red Storm. An early season showdown, the renewal of a classic rivalry. Coverage begins at noon Eastern only on Fox Sports 1.
Again, and Jordan, don't be hard on yourself. You got the next shift to worry about. Don't chase a mistake. Yeah, he should handle that puck. You know, and just simple, determined hockey.
Murphy again. Double clutching, a wrister blocked by Butler. Good hustle. Going down Semin, no call. Calgary, 3-on-2 if they hurry. Stajan, Brody. He'll move it deep. TJ Brody. Matt Stajan's out in front. Brody is peppered by Hainsey. He stays with it. Goes by Matt Stajan. Top of your screen, Eric Stahl looks around. Calmly away from Camilleri. Hainsey again for Murphy. In the center zone, a giveaway. Giordano. Over the line, Mike Camilleri. Giordano's out in front. Hainsey hurries him. Giordano in control. A wrister knocked down by Hainsey. Gained here and turned back to the wall by Stajan. Mark Giordano. Stopped by Peters. It trickles wide. He got help from Hainsey. And a long pass. Skinner's in alone. He's hooked. We'll see. We could have a penalty shot.
God, it almost could have been two minors here. There were two stick infractions. What a feed that was, I believe, from Yuri Talusti to Skinner. And you might want to call your timeout. If I'm Kurt Bauer, I'd call my timeout here. Give him a chance to... See, there's the first one. Watch the second hook. You could actually call two. Call the timeout. Give him a chance to have his heart rate come down and settle himself with the game on the line. At least that's what I do.
4-on-4 situation. And it broke out for Jeff Skinner. Now the 21-year-old will have the opportunity. Carolina's first penalty shot of this season. The second one in his career. He had one in Edmonton against Devin Dubnyk. Tonight, Kirk Muller won for the first time as a head coach in the National Hockey League. Kari Ramo in the nets for Calgary. Jeff Skinner walks in slowly. Glaze. Shut down by Kari Ramo.
Well, there was so much time between when the penalty shot was called and when they actually told Jeff he had to go that Kurt didn't have to burn that timeout. Way back when Skinner scored his first ever shootout goal in Finland playing against the Minnesota Wild. He loved the area that Matt Cullen used to love. Halfway up on the blocker side. Good patient anticipation save there from Ramo.
Ramo 2 for 2 this season in terms of penalty shots. He stopped Brent Burns of San Jose on October the 19th. Carolina 13 shots in this period. Calgary with 6. Sekera holding on to it. He'll move it. Now Butler looks around. Chris Butler forechecked by Skinner. We stay tied at 1. 5:11 left in regulation time. Stempniak. Center zone, Ruutu. TJ Brody. Lee Stempniak. Good stick by Justin Falk. Carolina, again, they get it deep. TJ Brody. Rolls it around for Stempniak. Camilleri came across. Carolina momentarily traps the zone. As you see it, kick all the way back out. Justin Falk. Off the stick of Manny Malhotra. Kari Ramo moves it for the D. Brody. Mike Camilleri. Underneath and out is Matt Stajan. They cross the line. Carolina, good job getting back. Stempniak almost walked in. Dwyer. Yuri Talusti. Over the line, he's in. His shot glances off Russell. Side of the goal, Dwyer. It's on the netting, and it's tied up by Kari Ramo. 4:23 left to go in this third period. We're tied at 1. We're going down the stretch in Calgary. Tuomo Ruutu has control. Here they come. Ruutu at the outside of TJ Brody. He sets up Skinner. His shot. He scores! Jeff Skinner has the magic again, beating Kari Ramo 5-hole.
Funny that those two teamed up on Skinner's goal because I spent time with both of them, Eric and Tuomo, last night, fireside chat, and they both had gone back and said, wow, John was really excited on that call in Edmonton. And they said, what happens in the booth when that happens? They said,
well, hold on to your thought. Justin Peters had the paddle down. David Jones off the boards. Byron back on it. Tied at 1 late in this third period. Semin, Glaze, Sends up Jordan. All the way across. Ramo got a skate to it. And Gerby was in the neighborhood. Nathan Gerby with a shot. Swallowed by Kari Ramo.
2 phenomenal saves. Heck of a shift from the Hurricanes. And Ramo, boy, oh boy, after being beaten between the legs, the penalty shot save. Now these two, I mean, that could have been a save. Gerby could have scored on the back door. Heck of a little, I mean, that's the mind, the hockey IQ of Alex Semin. But they said, what do you do in the booth when John's calling that? I said, believe it or not, I was scratching his back because I was so excited. But then I have to analyze the goal.
Oh, God.
They were laughing when I said that.
I'm sure they were.
That was the truth.
Now Gleason, I know that. Now Hainsey outside the line, around the boards. And Chris Russell has time in his own zone. 3.5 left in this third period from the Saddle Dome in Calgary. Sean Tripp and Chantel will do as always. Road trip will conclude Saturday night in Phoenix. Mike Camilleri steps in. Loads it up. Peters says no. He hangs on.
You know, because I learned early on working with you a game in Edmonton where Ron Francis scored in overtime, and I was so excited that I actually talked like I was back before my voice changed when I was 10 years old, and I said, I still remember, Ron Francis. But as the analyst, I can't get excited. So what I did when you called that goal, and I was very excited, I rubbed your back a bit as you were calling it beautifully, and then I worried about what, at least trying to argue, what made the goal special from an analytical standpoint. Tuomo and Eric got a real kick out of that.
I bet they did. The chemistry up here naturally unfolds. 3:18 left in this third period. Shots are tied at 28. Score is tied at 1. Colburn and Malhotra. Now Sekera for Carolina. Andre Sekera. Angled pass. Pat Dwyer. Good stick by Brody. Knocked down by Chris Russell. Falk at the point. Pressured by Colburn. They get it out. Andre Sekera away for Yuri Taluski with Dwyer and Malhotra. Sealed off by Colburn. Malhotra! And it's handled again by Kari Ramo.
Good job there, Manny. He has as big of a goal as Carolina has scored this season in overtime against Philadelphia. But on the year, he has less than 10 shots. Actually, just 7 coming into tonight. No problem getting it to the net there. And by the way, he was a key part of that Skinner goal in Edmonton with the screen on Dubnyk.
16 shots for Carolina in this period, as opposed to 8 taken by Calgary. 2:47, volleyballed ahead by Alex Semin. Comes all the way back, Giordano for Chris Butler. Sealing the walls, Jordan Staal. Gerby in back of the goal, loose this way, Giordano, pressured by Semin. Through the center zone and all the way back. Here's Ron Hainsey. Flushed out by David Jones. At center, Nathan Gerby. Carolina on the attack. Calgary has numbers back, and the Hurricanes are offside.
You could see Ron Hainsey going to the dressing room, but George Alves, one of the fine equipment managers, is running with him. So it is an equipment issue. Not sure if it's gloves or skates. So they will try to get 65 back available as soon as possible. And for now, 5 defensemen for Dave Lewis with 2 and 2-2 left.
And of course, down a forward for the majority of the game, with young Elias Lindholm getting injured in period 1. Dumped in. A chip by Russell. It's a left skate issue for Ron Hainsey. That's the word we have from downstairs, so he will be back soon.
Well, and that's why you need all of your equipment managers, as I said earlier, and telling the story about Skip Cunningham sharpening the skates of Marty Gelinas before he scored the overtime winner in 2002, because you never know which guy's going to have to sharpen a player's skates as quickly as possible.
Icing called here against Calgary. 2:05 left.
Again, a situation where, you know, Kirk Muller could choose to use his timeout if he's in a spot where he really would like to use Hainsey to buy time. That icing play right there only helps Carolina to get Ron back.
Eric, Skinner, and Ruutu come out for Kirk Muller. Falk and Sekera are back. Ruutu wins the battle. Carolina trying to will it. They do. Good job. Here's Tuomo Ruutu. Back of the goal. Skinner almost snuck it home. Short side held by Ramo. Top of your screen. Chris Russell for Calgary. Getting help from Lee Stempniak and back out. Andre Sekera. Eric Staal along the boards. Knocked down by Matt Stajan. He'll lay it ahead. Patrick Dwyer's on it. 1:35 left in regulation time. Headman pass for Manny Malhotra. Broken up by Giordano. It goes deep. Malhotra away from Schmid. A loose puck kicks free. Curtis Glencross to the point. Tim Gleason. Broken up. Gleason. Glencross at the line. Malhotra. Now Giordano. Flames captain circling back. Carolina changing the troops. Quick up. Glencross. Loose puck. Gleason. Stretch pass all the way down past Ramo. The race for the dot. Calgary wins it. Icing is called.
Now I'd call, even though Manny Malhotra's on the ice, he's bent over right now, tired. You're down to 5 defensemen. Call the timeout here. And this is a big-time point. You got to call it here, in my view. And you will. Good call.
Timeout called by Carolina. 64 seconds left. Let's tell a story of a grinding defensive game. Goals at a premium, and Calgary will strike first.
Well, in some ways, two very similar goals in terms of how they went in. You know, Carolina's was actually scored on transition, but big boost from the fourth line. McGrath, quick release. Both goaltenders have been excellent, but both goaltenders have been beat in the same spot. Absolute straight line play. Puck support between Ruutu and Stahl. Net drive from Murphy. And Jeff Skinner, boy, is he ever hot as a firecracker right now, getting it to the net in rapid fashion.
And we had a penalty shot for Jeff Skinner. An excellent save by Karl Ramo. And we set the table now as Kirk Muller looks on. Tied at 1 with 64 seconds left.
Biggest face-off of the game so far. Again, Malhotra telling Justin Peters, be ready, because I'm going to power this back. You might have to make a save. So you have 3 guys there, and Harrison, Gerby, and Aaron. And now Gleason's going to come over. That's a smart move. 7 goes over to the board side. You want 2 defensemen there to try to gather this puck.
Colburn will take the face-off for the Flames. Malhotra wins it. Semin off the board. Floated all the way back. Under a minute left in regulation time. Chris Russell. Quarterbacks out to center ice. Glencross is in. Standing on a chance, Hudler. Glencross looking for Hudler, broken up by Andrei Sekera. Neutral ice, it's Eric Stahl. They're in. Stahl pulls up. His brother joins the fray as he was checked by Glencross, and it goes out of play, and Ron Hainsey is back at it.
Assist George Alves. Nice job, George, if you're listening down there. A good job from Semin there. A good adjustment there between Gleason and Semin. Get the 2 defensemen in the front of the net. Semin ends up getting the puck and banks it beautifully to get it out, not ice it, and not clear it over the glass.
Eric Stahl. And Matt Stajan on this faceoff. Out of the reach of Justin Falk as we see it comes all the way back. Half minute left in regulation time. Odd Karam, Skinner in control. Out they go. At the line, Giordano off the window by Skinner. He recovered nicely on Stempniak. Sekera. Long pass, chipped along by Skinner. 12 seconds left in regulation time. Miroslav Schmid from his own zone, a tight turn on Skinner. In control now, he'll start ahead. Stempniak broken up by Sekera. And for the second straight game, the Carolina Hurricanes will go to overtime.
Anytime you come back in this league when you're trailing after 2 periods, even against a team that is young and has had trouble in thirds, it's a good point. But I'm sure a lot of Hurricanes fans are sitting at home, staying up late with us and saying, hey, it's time to get greedy. The extra point is needed.
Tuesday night in Edmonton, this was the story. We went to overtime, and there was a penalty early in the extra session. Justin Falk on Ryan Nugent-Hopkins.
I thought it was a very, very tough call. Nugent-Hopkins wasn't hurt, put himself in a vulnerable spot. And a 4-on-3 is such a sizably better opportunity than a 5-on-4. Nothing Falk could have done there. I would tell him to do exactly the same thing. And Nugent-Hopkins is still a young, slight player. I think a bigger, more seasoned player wouldn't even have gone down in the play, no penalty.
Take a look at the records on both sides, overtime, and if we do get to the shootout, each team has secured 1 point in the standings. Carolina now with 33 points at least. Calgary with 27. Carolina outshot Calgary 16-8 in that third period.
And I think the last couple of years, 4-on-4 hockey has not treated the Hurricanes well, but I've seen a growth in their confidence as the October has turned into November and into December with the way they play in this situation.
So the ice opens up. They lose a skater. We go 4-on-4. For the Calgary Flames, it's been a gut check night in and night out. As you point out, a young team. They don't score a lot. They grind through, and they have a tough time with leads, and they surrendered it in this third period. A reminder, Saturday night from the desert, Canes and Coyotes, starting with Hurricanes live at 7:30 on Fox Sports Carolina.
John, I'm tossing out the old adage that 3 forwards and 1 defenseman in a cross-conference game, because points are so valuable. I think you have to play it the same. Play it in the way that you have the best chance to win.
The overtime is sponsored by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of North Carolina. Live for the game, live fearless. Carolina is Sekera, Falk, Jordan, and Gerby out there. Hoodler, Backlund, Giordano. Along with Schmid for Calgary. Gerby to an open corner. Sekera moving up. Jordan Stahl. All the way back for Justin Falk. Will start again. Falk from his own zone. Calgary awaiting the attack. It goes by Jordan Stahl. It comes back. Icing is called here against Carolina.
The key will be which side is the face-off on. Okay, it's not on the side Jordan Stahl would prefer. He's going to have to try to... I don't think he should try to win this cleanly on the face-off. No, they're going to switch it up, and he is going to get the side he wants. No, which one? Jordan's going to one side, Stajan's going to the other. That tells you which side Jordan wanted it on. Now I think just tie up and see if you can get help from Gerby or Falk.
Flames have control. Russell, Brody. Now Lee Stempniak. A loose puck. Stajan circles towards the boards, lays it back now for Brody. That's Stajan up top. In control, down the wall, Chris Russell. Wedged by Nathan Gerby. Dug out by Justin Falk. He'll start. Sealed off by Stajan. Carolina momentarily trapped in their own zone. Sekera. Wheels ahead. Gets help from Tuomo Ruutu. Here they come. Ruutu swoops in. His shot deflects wide off Russell. Sekera. Now Ruutu holding. Shooting one, a block by Brody. And it skips out to center ice. Ryan Murphy cradling the puck. At the line, he has room. He goes wide. His shot off of Russell. On the cross. Went cross. Lays it in the high slot of Steele. Murphy's on it. Drop past Ruutu, a give back. Now Murphy. Ruutu's in. Romo comes up big. Camilleri taken down. Play will continue.
What a play. What a shift for Ryan Murphy. Boy, oh boy. You see right there in itself a nutshell of why he's going to be so exciting for many years.
Here comes Mike Camilleri. He'll cut. Lay it across Giordano. Now Camilleri. Looking for a tip off the wall. Out in front. Glenn Cross. A block by Hainsey. He fans. He threads it across for Camilleri. He'll turn it off a stick and all the way back out.
What a play by Murphy at the end of it all. Not to get mesmerized by the puck. He had to be tired. End of that dazzling shift that he had up front, and makes a huge play.
2:50 left in overtime. Calgary starts again. Michael Backlund flying through the center zone. Paul Byron holding onto it to the outside. Drop pass. Unattainable for the D. They circle back. Schmid in control. On the tape of Backlund. Guarded by Sekera. He'll pull up. Schmid steps in. Floats it in the mitt of Peters, who hangs on.
Well, this is pretty exciting. Murphy, I mean, this is just God-given at the one end. Drops it, give and go with Ruutu, back to Ruutu. I mean, that's as good of a chance as you're going to get. And now he's exhausted. Watch the right side. There he is. He could be totally focused on the puck. And he makes a heck of a stick play when he had to be exhausted.
Now Holtra will take this face-off, opposed by Joe Colburn. Puck has been dropped. It rolls back for TJ Brody. Here it comes, tipped wide off Colburn. Russell down the wall. Hudler, fronted by Murphy. Yuri Hudler to the outside of him. Hudler holding on to it now. Brody at the point. Off a stick, off Dwyer. Captured by Hudler. Now Chris Russell advancing. Tripped up. Play continues. Hainsey tied up by Colbert. They'll throw on the brakes alertly. Reverse the flow. Give it to Ryan Murphy, and out they come. Murphy from neutral ice. At the line, all the way across. Kirby gets it from Jordan. His shot deflects wide. TJ Brody lays it ahead. 1:47 left in overtime. Calgary starts fresh. TJ Brody in his own zone. Mark Giordano. Sekera's on him. He scales it back. Falk looks around, pressured by Lee Stempniak. They jam along the boards. Camilleri is supporting. Soars Jordan Stahl. They continue that scrum. Jordan digs it out. Now it's Nathan Gerby. 1:23 left here in overtime. Gerby over the line, walks in, throws on the break. Looks around, off the body, off Schmid. To the corner, Sekera's up in the play. Andre Sekera in back of the goal, defended. Now it's played by Giordano. Open is Lee Stempniak, but he had to get back after it. He'll throw it all the way around. Sekera for Carolina. 1:06 left in overtime. He's muscled by Mike Camilleri. A loose puck as we see. Taking a swat at it was Falk. Now Jordan for Gerby. Give and go Jordan. Good stick by Schmid. He ties up Jordan Stahl. Wins the battle. Out to center ice. Camilleri. Over the line, everybody's changing. Mike Camilleri pulls it back. 45 seconds left in overtime. Chris Russell starts ahead. Some ice to work with. Here's Matt Stajan. All the way across, off the wall. Curtis Glencross broken up. Skinner's away. Jeff Skinner, home of the line, holds onto it. Delays, sets it on there. Off the side of the goal, Eric Stahl. Now out of the corner, Skinner again. Out in front, knocked down by Murphy. Shut down by Rommel, but batted down by Murphy with a high stick.
What a play on the 3-on-1 by the Calgary defense. Skinner, is that ever strength? You're not going to see a better slide than this. Skinner wants to shoot, but he's got Stahl on the back door. And that is just a sensational slide by Brody. Sensational. And Eric Stahl just, Jeff ran out of reel, and he gets the stick coming through. What a look from the truck. TJ Brody at his absolute best on that 3-on-1.
23.4 seconds on the clock. Jordan Stahl injured a bit. A false start. He'll right himself. Neutral zone draws we see. Backlund for Calgary. Sekera moving back. It goes by Alex Semin. Mark Giordano. 14 seconds before we go to shootout. Paul Byron moving up on Sekera. Holds onto it. Sets up Butler. His shot. He scores! Chris Butler. 3.6 seconds left in overtime. Calgary wins.
They'll give a gigantic assist to TJ Brody on that 3-on-1. Rommel penalty shot save on Skinner. This was a fine job of the curl just inside the Carolina line. And to find Butler, and Semin could not recover and get in the shooting lane. Watch the right side of your screen. Semin's okay. Semin drifts. He drifts too much. Now it's a shot through traffic that Peters just can't locate. But that's where you needed stopping and starting. And is that puck? I think it goes straight in. Well, it could have changed direction.
It might have gone off Semin. It was fluttering at the end. Hard to tell.
But, I mean, it's the fact of the matter is 4-on-4 hockey, you still have to stop and start. And Alex Semin, he overextended himself chasing the puck. I talked about Murphy not getting mesmerized. Alex needed to maintain his positioning on the weak side where the puck wasn't. And then I don't think the puck gets through. But boy, oh boy, you look at the play Brody made, the play that Rommel made on the penalty shot, as well as his save when Jordan Stahl and Gerby were teaming up late in the third. The Hurricanes got a point, trailing after 2. They wanted more, but they'll go on to Phoenix to try to finish off the trip.
Chris Butler, his second goal of the season from Paul Byron and Michael Backlund at 4:56 of overtime. Final count. Calgary 2, Carolina 1. The Hurricanes get another point in the standings. Stay tuned for full post-game coverage from the Saddledome as we bring you Hurricanes Live. which comes your way next from Calgary right here on Fox Sports Carolinas.